Hey, good morning, YouTube fam. Alright, so today's project is I'm gonna swap out the exhaust on the Black Knight here. Like I say again, with the age of the truck, it's little things begin popping up. But anyway, I guess back in June, July, a couple months ago, the truck it would make a funny noise whenever I would shift, and there'd be some torque. And I couldn't figure out what it was. It was definitely metal that was twisted, but I didn't see anything hanging, near the drive shaft or the transmission. There was nothing rubbing with the exhaust. The wind or something could be causing it to do it. I had that instance with the exhaust on my Western Star dump truck, where the bolts had come loose and it was rubbing it against the dump body. And this went on for a while, and of course you couldn't hear it when the truck was sitting still, and I couldn't figure out what it was when I was driving. But anyway, long story short, I was leaving a job site, and all of a sudden the truck got louder. So over time it had been getting louder, but it's like frog in boiling water. You don't notice the change because it's subtle over a period of time. But this, it just snapped all at once, and the truck was loud and ugly as opposed to loud and smooth. So I stopped, looked at it, and sure enough, the flex pipe had finally sheared off completely, and that's what it was. And come to find out, that's what that noise was the flex pipe was flexing back and forth as a truck would twist as I was shifting gears and pulling. So in the process of doing that, and I'll show you a short video explaining the flex pipe. I changed the flex pipe out. I changed the wire pipe that had holes starting to come into it. But nobody had the U-pipes, chrome anyway, that I wanted to put on here, and I didn't want to piecemeal it. So I was still able to use the U-pipes here, the 90-degree angle U-pipes, but they were beginning to go as well. So I just put new clamps on there, and I ordered Grand Rock 6-inch exhaust to put on there. And due to the pandemic, shipping times were extended, so it took about 2 months for the pieces to all come in. So I finally got those, and then I forgot to order the cab clamp up top, so that was another week once I got everything in. So I finally have all the pieces now, and today we're going to swap them out. So here's the main components of the new exhaust. So you got two elbows, you got the mufflers and the heat shields that I got, and then those are the Mitre Cut Stacks with flaps. So I'm gonna take the old 10-inch mufflers off and put these on. And my wife is giving me the solder, so let me hear her get these out the family room.
Not a problem.
So here's the hole on the passenger side, and there's less than maybe a half an inch here underneath the clamp holding that on there. So I got exhaust leaking from around the clamp and coming out this hole, and you can see there's not very much to it. and it's getting down on my tanks, so I'm gonna have to repolish those. And here's the driver's side. It's even worse. That great big hole, and it's deteriorating right here at the clamp. So all this will have to be replaced. The mufflers themselves ain't too bad, but you see the bolts missing, so that's extra noise I don't need. And when I first bought the truck, before I started having problems with the exhaust, it was relatively quiet. I mean, it had a nice rumble to it, but it's relatively quiet. Now when it goes down, it's just a lot of noise, and it's not a smooth sound that I like. Now, you can't do an exhaust swap video without before and after. So here's what the truck sounds like currently with holes in the exhaust. Like I said, it's not bad. It's louder than without any holes, but it's not a smooth, low rumble. You can tell it just sounds a little off. So of course, first thing we gotta do is take off the old exhaust. So now the heat shield is out of the way, you can look at all the clamps that's holding the muffler onto the truck. Now, those clamps there look to be in pretty good shape, but keep in mind, I'd already replaced the old ones when I initially fixed the brake with the flex pipe. So if you have an older truck and you're going to remove that stuff, they won't be that clean, and they definitely won't be, or may not be, too easy to take off. It's only held on to the cab of the truck in two spots, right there, and then another spot up behind that mirror. Let me see if I can get over here to see it. Yeah, those bolts right there, and there's a rubber bushing in there to help with the vibration. So there's only 4, maybe 6 bolts you got to take off to swap out that muffler. So these U-clamps here are 9/16, but I have come across some that were 5/8. But all you do is unscrew them. challenges with the heat shield is the grab handle. I have to mount the bolts on the inside. So you know, typically you can put the clamps on and then put your shield on and attach your screws. But because of the way I got the grab handle going, I'm not able to do that. So I got to assemble it first and then slide it down on there. Now I got a plan in my head. We'll see how it works.